Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy X. We're starting straight off with a boss fight. We've just finished the Chamber of Faith leading into Zanarkand, and right now we have to face this quite intimidating boss. So we have trigger commands, and it allows us to move to the different pedestals surrounding the boss. And essentially, we're going to have to make sure that everyone's always behind the boss, because any sort of attack will result in him counter-attacking, like we have here with Waka. He attacks, and he'll hit all three positions that are in front of him that he's facing. Now, for this, we're going to want to basically speed everybody up, Hastiga, best spell in the game. And since he's one of the late game bosses, we're going to make sure that everyone gets a turn as well, because, you don't want to miss out on that experience points. But any character that attacks, he'll counter-attack facing in front of him. So we want to make sure we have tanky people that are able to take a hit. We're going to let Kamari have a go, move him behind. The only frustration is that moving takes a turn, but then when it's the boss's turn, the boss will just pick a direction and attack. Now, what you basically want to do with this boss fight is have two people behind doing support actions and healing actions. And then pick one hard-hitting character like Auron. Give him a boost to his speed, give him a boost to his defenses and healing, and boost his luck for some extra crit rate, and you should get through this fairly okay. But I'm going to pick Auron for this fight, so we're going to use Cheer as well to help boost his strength and defense. We're going to put Protect on him with Yuna, and basically that's going to be our plan. We're going to just buff Auron up with Cheers and with Protect and with all those good positive boosts, and with a bit of haste as well, and then hopefully between the counterattacks and everything else we'll be able to just beat down the boss with one character. So this is like the ideal situation. He's facing Auron, the other two are behind him, and so long as they don't attack him, or that they don't face forwards, they won't get hurt basically. So we're going to keep doing Cheers, and eventually we'll bring Yuna in as well, and allow her to put Protect on Auron as well, and just to keep him healed up. So once again, even though Tita's hit, his counterattack goes forward, and luckily he's just attacking Auron, focusing him down, so that's all good. And bring in Yuna for some big heals. But what you should have and could have put on earlier was, Protect would have definitely meant he needs less heals. So, definitely put on Protect earlier in the fight than I did. But yeah, I actually got the very first game over in this entire playthrough. Now I cut it out, but yeah, I just underestimated the power of just that triple counterattack strike, and I wiped. So definitely make sure most of your characters are behind the boss, and just put one tanky character in front to take all the damage. And if you can get multi-hit moves like this, it's kind of better because you're getting more damage in. But he'll obviously only ever counterattack once. And now with that special move, Glyph Mine, he'll basically put a bomb on the base of 2 or 3 of the platforms. Now thankfully none of the people we're using are on the particular platforms, but you need to move them because it will just be an instant KO if they're stuck on that mine. But we've given him cheers, we just have to give him protect, and then literally Orange is going to clean up this boss fight. And we see now that he got actually inflicted with Berserk. We're going to leave that on him because it boosts his physical strength, which obviously is what we're needing. It's all we're ever using him for, so definitely a handy thing there to have. So it's just really using the characters for their roles that they're kind of assigned for. So using Yuna and Riku to like buff his defenses and stuff, and then Orin just to tank. At the end of the day, we have Holy, so we can use the Holy spell to do massive damage. 666 damage, curse number, eep. But yeah, with the Berserk status, he's doing up to like 8,000 damage per attack, and he's only doing 600 damage back to Orin, so we have this battle won basically. I should have probably hasted Orin, and I already hasted, but he definitely should be hasted just to be attacking more regularly. But we have Riku and Yuna on healing and holy duty. And see, now you see things get tricky because he's after turning around. I was debating bringing in an Aeon, but decided not to. And I think he's actually that low that we were able just to beat him with a holy spell, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so just blast with holy, game over. Yuna has just been cleaning up all the fights in Zanarkand. She's like done the Spectral Keeper, she's done the Sanctuary Keeper, like she's just been beating all the bosses with that holy magic. And with that defeated, we gained access to the Chamber of the Faith in Zanarkand. But this faith is a little different.
Yuna, we're here.
The Hall of the Final Summoning.
Go.
Yes.
Huh? What do you mean, no final Aeon?
Sir Orin! Everyone!
So there's no final Aeon. Yeah, keep in mind, Sir Orin's done this before. Orin has literally been to Zanarkand and back, and he kept all of this under wraps. Best CIA agent ever. Let nothing slip. Save point here. You definitely want to save because you don't want to have to do that fight over again. What's interesting as well is you kind of step forward and we have another little cutscene where we learn that the final Aeon, it's an empty statue. We don't have one.
What you see before you is all that remains of him. Lord Zayon is... his soul is gone.
Gone?
You mean there is no final Aeon?
But fear not. Lady Yunalesca will show you the path. The final Aeon will be yours.
It's less of...
the final Aeon will join powers. Go to her now. Inside, the lady awaits.
So it's less of the final Aeon and your final
You were
Aeon.
late. Orin, you knew this was gonna happen, didn't you?
Yes.
But Tidus, you knew that he
Why
knew.
didn't you tell us?
If I had told you the truth, would that really have stopped you from coming? Yuna.
I'm not going back.
Kimari knows. Kimari goes first. Yuna is safe. Kimari protect.
So onward we go. Now, unfortunately, we're not able to backtrack as far as we like. We are able to go back up, and it does bring us back to the Cloister of Trials. I thought maybe you're able to get the Destruction Sphere puzzle, but even if you leave the cloister and come back, it doesn't work. Changes the music, interestingly enough. The music kind of resets to what it should be when you enter the Cloister of Trials. We kind of lose the Hymn of the Faith, but you can't do the destruction puzzle until you return back after this little batch of cutscenes. But yeah, we have to go meet Lady Yunalesca and discover what we have to do to get a final Aeon. So that's of the final Aeon and a final Aeon. So there's been multiple, which is quite curious. I just love that little scene though, where all the little icons merge together to make the platform. I think that's pretty cool.
Someone's coming!
Lady Yunalesca.
Welcome to Zanarkand. I congratulate you, Summoner. You have completed your pilgrimage. I will now bestow you with that which you seek. The final summoning will be yours. Now, choose. You must choose the one whom I will change to become the faith of the final summoning. There must be a bond between Chosen and Summoner, for that is what the final summoning embodies. The bond between husband and wife, mother and child, or between friends. If that bond is strong enough, its light will conquer sin. 1,000 years ago, I chose my husband Zeon as my faith. Our bond was true, and I obtained the final Aeon. There is nothing to fear. You will soon be freed of worry and pain. For once you call forth the final Aeon, your life will end. Death is the ultimate and final liberation. Your father, Braska, chose this path.
It is not too late. Let us turn back.
If I turn back, who will defeat sin? Would you have some other summoner and his guardians go through this?
But, my lord, there must be another way. This is the only way we got now. Fine. Make me the faith. I've been doing some thinking. My dream is back in the other Zanarkand. I wanted to make that runt into a star blitz player. Show him the view from the top, you know. But now I know there's no way home for me. I'm never gonna see him again. My dream's never gonna come true. So make me the faith. I'll fight sin with you, Braska. Then maybe my life will have meaning, you know. Don't do this, Jecht. If you live, there may be another way. We'll think of something, I know. Believe me, I thought this through. Besides, I ain't getting any younger, so I might as well make myself useful.
Checked?
What? You're not gonna try to stop me too?
Sorry. I mean, thank you.
Braska still has to fight Sin, Orin. Guard him well. Make sure he gets there. Well, let's go.
Lord Braska, checked.
What do you want now?
Sin always comes back. It comes back after the calm, every time. The cycle will continue and your deaths will mean nothing. But there's always a chance it won't come back this time. It's worth trying.
I understand what you're saying, Orin. I'll find a way to break the cycle.
You have a plan? Checked?
Trust me, I'll think of something.
And the cycle went on.
We'll break it.
But how? What, you got a plan now?
If one of us has to become a faith, I volunteer.
Me too, Yuna.
That still won't change anything, you know? You'd bring the calm, and then what? That won't break the cycle.
Listen. You want to defeat Sin and keep Yuna alive. You don't want Sin to come back, yeah? That is just not gonna happen, brother, you know?
If you want everything, you'll end up with nothing.
But I want everything.
Now you're being childish.
I give up. So what would an adult do then? They know they can just throw away a summoner, then they can do whatever they like. You're right. I might not even have a chance. But no way am I gonna just stand here and let Yuna go. And what Orin said about there being a way, I think it's true.
You'll think of something?
Yes, I'll go ask Yunalesca. She's got to know something.
You really think she'll help you?
I don't know, but I have to try. This is my story. It'll go the way I want it, or I'll end it here.
Wait. You say it's your story, but it's my story too, you know? It would be so easy to let my fate just carry me away, following this same path my whole life through. But I know I can't. What I do with no regrets.
Have you chosen the one to become your faith? Who will it be?
Might I ask something first? Will Sin come back even should I use the final summoning to defeat it?
Sin is eternal. Every Aeon that defeats it becomes Sin in its place. And thus is Sin reborn.
So that's why Jack became Sin.
Sin is an inevitable part of Spira's destiny. It is never-ending.
Never ending? But if we atone for our crimes, Sin will stop coming back, yeah? Someday it'll be gone, yeah?
Will humanity ever attain such purity?
This cannot be! The teachings state that we can exercise sin with complete atonement! It's been our only hope all these years!
Hope is comforting. It allows us to accept fate, however tragic it might be.
No! Where is the sense in all this? Braska believed in Yevon's teachings and died for them. Jack believed in Braska and gave his life for him.
They chose to die because they had hope. Yevon's teachings and the final summoning give the people of Spira hope. Without hope, they would drown in their sorrow. Now choose. Who will be your faith? Who will be the one to renew Spira's hope?
No one. I would have gladly died. I live for the people of Spira, and would have gladly died for them. But no more. The final summoning is a false tradition that should be thrown away.
No, it is our only hope. Your father sacrificed himself to give that hope to the people, so they would forget sorrow.
Wrong. My father wanted to make Spiro's sorrow go away, not just cover it up with lies.
Sorrow cannot be abolished. It is meaningless to try.
My father, I loved him. So I will live with my sorrow. I will live my own life. I will defeat sorrow in his place. I will stand my ground and be strong. I don't know when it will be, but someday I will conquer it. And I will do it without false hope.
Poor creature. You would throw away hope. Well, I will free you before you can drown in your sorrow. It is better for you to die in hope than to live in despair. Let me be your liberator.
Now! This is it! Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands.
Yuna needs Kimahri. Kimahri protect Yuna.
Well, I'm fighting.
I can't believe we're gonna fight Lady Yunalesca. Give me a break.
You can always run.
I'd never forgive myself. No way. Not if I ran away now. Even in death, yeah?
My thoughts exactly.
Yuna! This is our story. Now let's see this thing through together.
Such a collection of powerful scenes. I just kind of didn't want to speak through any of that. But yeah, we're just deciding, no, we're done with Yevon, we're done with these teachings that don't really lead to anything, and we're going to actually fight Lady Yunalesca and stop the tradition of the final summoning. Summoners are not going to be sacrificed. Their guardians aren't going to be sacrificed. We're going to just stop her. Now, what makes Lady Yunalesca difficult isn't her attacks, because she's not that strong, but she just constantly applies status effects. So putting reflect on your physical hitters, she typically, so if she's hit physically, she will counter with blind, which will, you know, neutralize your physical attackers. But if you cast reflect, that'll bounce back. If she's hit with magic, she'll counter with silence, which obviously is also annoying. But again, if you have reflect, that can be neutralized as well. So yeah, what I should have done is actually apply White Wind with Kamari. That would have been really useful. But again, yeah, so physical attack counters with blind. But again, all those different cutscenes, like you have Jet wanting to like sacrifice himself to try and save Spira because he knows he can't go back to Zanarkand, can't be with his kid anymore. So he wants to like, you know, make the world a better place that he's currently in and help his friend Braska. And Yuna basically saying that, like, you know, her dad died wanting to like free the world from sin, not just continue this cycle of lying and sacrificing of people to continue their suffering with this false hope narrative. We've now entered the second stage of Lady Yunalesca's fight. So now she's able to inflict a zombie on everybody, which obviously means that we now won't be able to heal each other conventionally or will like take damage. So that's quite frustrating. But again, hit her with holy, hit her with you know, elemental magics. If we actually just took the time to charge up all our Aeon's overdrives, the Aeons are that powerful that they'd probably be able to like get rid of most of her forms really quickly. Now, I also made a really, really silly move because I used Hastiga instead of just haste. Orin is obviously still under the effects of reflect, so now Lady Yunalesca is hasted. Not ideal. We don't generally want the boss to have haste. That's typically not the vibe. Now, if I actually manage to like land that overdrive combo, he'll apply breaks of, you know, power break, magic break, mental break, armor break. But when you don't, that doesn't happen, obviously. But yeah, she typically then just wants to inflict zombie and then cast healing magic on you to do damage. But ironically, Orin has reflect and everything, so the cures won't affect him in the long run. And yeah, it's just all these statuses, it's so annoying. Like Riku still has silence, she can't cast holy. So we're just cycling through everybody. And we're just going to dispel that haste away. Because I'm pretty sure Lady Yunalesca is immune to slow, so that wouldn't do anything. But what's really frustrating though is that you kind of want zombie, because when she enters her third stage of this boss fight, she basically casts a mega death spell, which if you don't have zombie applied will just wipe your entire party. Or you can use an Aeon, because Aeons are immune to the death status anyway. But again, it's just really funny the way Holy kind of takes the character model out into the ether, so you can actually see like all the secret hidden parts of the character design that's like under the feet or under the walls of under the ground, I should say, of the Zanarkand ruins. And now we enter stage 3. I think it's like the first boss fight we've had that has had this many stages. But yeah, scary Medusa head, and in thematic fashion, once we look into the eyes of this Medusa creature, the spell Mega Death is cast. But since we all have zombie, it does nothing. It can't take our life force, which is great. But yeah, just keep attacking with all your heavy hitters and your strong magics. But I think it's also really sweet that earlier on Mount Gagazet, Tidus was basically saying like, no, like this is my story and this is what I'm about. But then he kind of comes full circle before fighting Lady Yunalesca, and like kind of Braska and Jack, like Jack basically saying like, no, like I'm a part of like wanting to like help you in saving Spira, you know. And in the same way, Tidus is basically like, you know, like it's me and you, it's our story, let's continue the story how we want to have it together. Now, if I had have taken some time before coming to this boss fight, there are a lot of zombie people in the room before the Cloister of Trials. We kind of just turned on no encounters and ran through, but you are able to steal holy waters from them, which will technically cure a character of zombie. You do just want to have one character with zombie in case Megadeth appears again, but again, if we just summoned specifically Valfor, Ixion and Bahamut, we could have probably just overdrive and skipped all 3 of the different phases in this fight with just overdrives, but I mean, that's a bit anticlimactic to the massive speech of like, we're all going to stand together and be Lady Yunalesca, and it's like, just kidding. The Aeons are going to do everything. But it's just also a really pretty skybox. Can we like give a shout out to like the production team that like drew all this different stuff and designed this area. It's like really, really pretty. So I finally cop on to myself and decide to use Kamari's Mighty Guard overdrive, which is amazing. It's like one of the best overdrives in the game, to be fair. Applies all the nulls, protect and shell. So super de-duper handy to have. And while we're here, we might as well bring Yuna in to blast her with holy magic. It says she's vulnerable to holy. That's what annoys me. Like, by the time you get holy magic, you're going to be at the max damage threshold. Like, there is no, you know, like, attacking her with holy, yes, you're going to do 9. But, like, it's not as if by the time you got holy, you're going to be doing any less than that with your magic spells anyway. But it is cool that we know that she's weak to holy. And as I say, if we had Yuna and Riku in here just blasting holies, the fight would be done fairly quickly as well. But that's neither here nor there. And like one thing that is handy, if you had like an auto phoenix armor made, you could just X potion a zombified character, make them KO, and then the auto phoenix would just revive them non-zombified, which would obviously be pretty handy. So now Tidus is back up. And yeah, actually, what I should have done with Orin as well is that you can actually use like chocobo feathers, which like count as an item to get the haste effect and not a spell. So you can actually use that item to apply haste without, by basically bypassing the reflect effect, which is quite handy. The things you learn when you like watch yourself back doing fights, you're like, that could have been better, that could have been better. But yeah, just blast them with holy. The most overpowered spell in the game. Like, Riku doesn't even have that high magic stat. It's just the magic multiplier of holy is just unbelievably high. But yeah, this is why, like, she can just randomly do Megadeth. So this is why you literally want to keep some people zombified. It's like that. Tidus is down, but since the other two had zombie, they were okay. But as well, like, we witnessed in that cutscene flashback that, like, Oren came back and like fought Yunalesca after Braska and Jack died, defeating Sin 10 years ago. So like, did he die in that conflict? We'll find out a bit later, but like, damn. So he literally just like gathered the children of like Jack and Braska and was like, I'm gonna take these kids and have them exert my revenge on this this evil lady. So yeah, she does have just so much health though. She still has health and like she still has 20,000 health left. And we're just chipping away. Again, one more holy, we'll get her down into the single thousands. And like I guarantee if we did have like break the damage limit weapons, we'd probably be doing like up to 15 to 20,000 damage a holy spell. But while we're here and we have the unique skybox and like it is Zanarkand, we definitely should just summon Bahamut for the absolute skybox views. And if I was really cool, I would have just had his overdrive full and just mega flared. But by the end of this fight, we give Oren some justice. We give him the final hit. But yeah, what's really frustrating with this boss is she can use Mind Blast, which does a ton of negative statuses. But one of them that can get applied is Curse, which now means that Bahamut is useless. We can't charge to get his Mega Flare off, so we may as well just dismiss and let Oren have his 10-year long-awaited revenge and strike down Lady Yunalesca, thus earning us an achievement. You get an achievement on Steam for beating Lady Yunalesca, and I love when it's like Lady Yunalesca cannot be captured because I didn't get rid of the capture weapon. But it's good to know you can capture boss monsters, but you get a trophy for beating her, and we now enter the end game. So like there's so many fun things we get to collect and do now that this section of the story is finished. Now there's some more cutscenes, there's some more drama. I'm going to basically just end the commentary here and just let the cutscene speak for itself. But I will see you next time, guys.
Even if there was, even if you did destroy Sin, you, Yevon, the Immortal, would only create Sin anew.
You, Yevon?
Ah, Zayon, forgive me. Spira has been robbed of the light of hope. All that remains is sorrow.
I cannot believe what we just did.
Let's do something more unbelievable.
What?
Destroy Sin, so it won't come back. And without the final Aeon. I don't know how just yet, but I'll find out.
Oh my god. I totally forgot to mention this. You need to collect a chest by running down the stairs here. Don't leave here without collecting that chest. It has the Sun Crest in it, and you just need it. Don't leave without getting it. So important.
We must talk.
What?
There's something you should know.
I know. It's about you, right?
I am also an unsent. You are not surprised.
I think I kinda knew. It was Yunalesca, wasn't it?
When Braska and Jecht died defeating Sin, I just couldn't accept it. I came back here, tried to avenge them. But she struck me down. Somehow I made my way, crawling down Mount Gagazet. But my strength left me, just outside Bevel. That's where Kamari found me. I told him about Yuna, just before I died. I've been wandering ever since, never going to the far plane.
Aren.
Don't make that face. Being dead has its advantages. I was able to ride Sin and go to your Xanarkand.
And you've been watching over me since then, haven't you? Why? What's the big idea? Why me?
It is one of those things that is difficult to explain. Very well, I will show you. My memories.
Can I ask you one last favor? Nah, never mind.
Out with it.
Okay, listen good. Take care of my son. My son in Xanarkand. He's such a crybaby. He needs someone there to hold his hand, see? Take care of him, will you?
But how am I supposed to go to Xanarkand?
Hey, you said it yourself. There must be a way to get there, right? You'll find it.
All right. I will. I give you my word. I'll take care of your son. I'll guard him with my life.
Thanks, Orin. You were always such a stiff. But that's what I liked about you.
That is why.
I told it a lie. There's a little bit more of free running around, but yeah, like Oren died, and basically in his grief managed to stay undead. Come find me in Xanarkand, bring me out of Xanarkand, put me on a pilgrimage with Yuna, all on this quest to like defeat Lady Yunalesca and like stop this barbaric tradition. But this will not be our last time in the Xanarkand ruins. We're definitely coming, I think, almost straight back. Once we leave, but basically we leave here, we run out of the ruins, Sin is there or waiting to be like fought. That doesn't load in the CGI cutscene, but basically Sin's there. He's like, are you gonna fight me, bro? And then we're like, no, bro. And then we get collected by the airship, talk to Sid some more, and then we basically come up with a game plan, and that's going to be the next episode. But thanks guys so much. We're after hitting a great milestone here now in the game, and just thanks for all the continued support, and I will chat to you guys next time.
I know. The final summoning's gone. But I'll think of something. Just give me a little more time.
the hoof.
Aren't we the happy-looking bunch?
Frana! Frana!
Where? Where? That all you can say? Why don't you think of something?
Well? Any good ideas?
Come on, help us.
What do we know? Sin is Jekt. Thus you have a link, a bond with Sin. That may be our key.
So, what do we do?
We think and we wait.
Two things I'm bad at.